The Philadelphia Eagles fall to the Chicago Bears 24-2015, and I specifically paused it at this right here. Ben Johnson and Nick Sirianni. Because this game highlighted the importance of coaching more than I think any game that I've seen in a long time. In every facet of this game, the Philadelphia Eagles were outcoached on offense and defense. Even Fangio, who I think is absolutely brilliant, absolutely elite. They even talked about on the broadcast, this Fangio defense is daring you to run. And it's like, why are you daring the Chicago Bears team to run they want to run? That's literally what they want to do. You should be daring Caleb Williams to throw, who's been wildly inaccurate throughout the season, and even in this game alone. He missed a whole bunch of throws here. So that did not make sense. You should be daring the young quarterback on the road to be throwing the ball. I mean, you dared them to run, and boy, did they ever. 17 rushing first downs. 17 rushing first downs. And they owned the time of possession 39-18 to 20-42. Caleb didn't even play. He had a couple really nice plays and a couple nice moments, but Caleb Williams didn't play particularly well. And yet they were still, they had a quarterback who went 17 for 36, 154 yards, 4.3 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and a 56.9 rating, and yet you still hung 24 and had 28 first downs. That, my friends, is the power of coaching. They were able to run 85 plays. That, my friends, is the power of coaching. They were able to go on third down 10 for 17. That, my friends, is the power of coaching. It's remarkable. They were able to run the ball 47 times for 281 yards, 6 yards per carry. That, my friends, is the power of coaching. As the game went on, you can't even blame the defense for getting gashed, because they're gassed at this point. Because let's flip it on the other side of the ball now, the power of coaching. You just don't really know what the Eagles are doing, and they talked about it also throughout the broadcast of like, they're not really doing enough design runs with Jalen. They can't get Saquon the ball. Saquon just keeps getting met in the backfield behind the line of scrimmage. That when you can get him in space, and it's still like there's no creativity to even get the run game going. Even though this O-line is clearly imperfect, there's no other coaching and game planning, game management, or play calling to help work around that in any way. And also, Tank Bigsby, who is a more physical runner, give him an opportunity, because maybe at least if he's met in the backfield, he can fight for another yard or two, maybe. I think Saquon's even production here is a little misleading, because it's 13 for 56, 4.3 yards per carry. And if you didn't really watch the game, you'd be like, oh, they should have handed the ball off more. Saquon was actually having a pretty good game, and it's like, not quite, not quite. And then now, even near the end of the game, and this is what I had said during the Giants game, and it was just like, at this point, let Jalen Hurts just throw all over the field here. And we saw a glimpse of what that can look like in this game. Like I said, what we saw, I forget. I said it during the Giants game, but I referenced a different game, though. I said it during my Giants post-game video, but then I referenced a different game. I just don't remember exactly off the top of my head right now. And you can see what that looks like, but the problem is that the passing game there's just no timing and rhythm to that passing game, and it can't get set up through the run game. There's no run game for it to build off of that you can then set up these plays. Kind of like similar to also what the broadcast talked about today, and what they were highlighting that Ben Johnson was able to do with Caleb Williams, but then also in that clip that I showed you all earlier with Nick Foles talking about the play calling, setting up screen plays and whatnot. And so, it's just, Nick Sirianni deserves a ton of blame here. Obviously, I think Kevin Patullo deserves a ton of blame here. And Fangio, I mean, I don't know why you're quote unquote daring them to run. Dare the young quarterback to make plays, to make throws. He has his completion percentage is continues to be under like 59%. Like, he has been inaccurate. I've watched all his games. He has been inaccurate. This was not this great Caleb. He had one great scramble and a couple really nice throws. Besides that, wasn't that great, man. It was not that great. Turn him into a passer. Make him make plays. Certainly not daring them to run. I mean, their top two rusher, they had two running backs with 125 plus yards. Like, you're not gonna win a game like that. When some team's able to run the ball 47 times for 281 yards, you're not gonna win the game. You're just not going to win the game. So it's just comically hilarious at this point. And I mean, even these passing stats are a little juiced up because near the end of the game. But I mean, the Bears defense was still going for it. They weren't just kind of sitting back and giving them nice little soft coverage, honestly. So it's just, even just watching those plays, I'd say, like, just go back and watch those last couple drives. Oh, the other thing is why they went for the 2-point conversion that early on. It's got to be one of the dumbest things ever. You just kick the field goal. You have some momentum now, and you're giving a reason for your defense to get fired up, because now you're telling your defense, get us the ball back, and we're going to go march down the field and tie this game up. But now you don't get the 2-point conversion. Now it's a 2-possession game. And now it's just like, well, what are we playing for right now? That's called game management. And you failed. You failed. Not to mention, you missed the extra point, which would have already made it an 8-point game. Then you kick the extra point again. And then now it's just a down touch. Like, now your defense is like, hey, let's get the ball back. We got 3 timeouts. Let's go, baby. Let's do it. And they didn't do it. So, yeah. This is, you heard the chants of fire Kevin Patullo, and I know there's been kind of this debate between, who to blame, the O-line, the coaching, Jalen Hurts, this, that, everyone wants to pick and choose who they, want to blame. At this point, the people who I consistently see, no, I'll just leave that to the side. There's so many other things that I want to say, but there's certain topics that I just really try my best to not discuss, because it's we'll just say it gets a little tricky when you're making videos online. I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. I mean, listen, right, AJ Brown, 10 catches, 132 yards, 13.2 yards per reception, 2 touchdowns on 12 targets. Like, AJ and Jalen were feasting with each other, right? But I mean, yeah. You saw the creativity in the run game for the Chicago Bears. You saw the smart play calling. You saw him unapologetically say, we're just going to keep running the ball. We're just going to keep running the ball. And pretty much every throw that Caleb Williams had to make was incredibly straightforward, simple, and clearly defined. All the concepts were all clearly defined. And it was just like, it's just very simple, very straightforward. You're making everything incredibly easy for your quarterback, which is what great coaching does. And it's just like, yeah, I don't know what the Eagles do from an offensive coordinating standpoint. And even from like a Nick Sirianni standpoint, they're not going to fire Nick Sirianni. They're going to want that offensive coordinator. But I just don't know where you go. And it's not like you can now just install like a brand new offense in essentially December. But I mean, because even if they fired an OC right now, and like, let's say Doug Peterson, who I'm not calling to bring in, but let's just say Doug Peterson is actually like this brilliant offensive mind, and he's like, I'm willing to come to Philly right now. Like, I'd love to do it, help this team win a Super Bowl. Like, let's go. There's a statue of me outside. I'm here for it. I'd love to come back. Let's get after it right now. Even if that was a possibility, it's like I don't even know what you would magically be able to do like right now, right? Like what problems are just solvable right now. And yeah, I think it's a shame for the Eagles because this is a year where the NFL is really wide open right now. And you look at the AFC. I mean, like, who really scares you in the AFC? We could say these other teams are playing well, like the Broncos, the Patriots, etc. But like, you're the reigning Super Bowl champions. Like, you shouldn't be intimidated by any of those teams out there. And you would potentially be going up against a quarterback who's it's going to be the biggest game of his career. You know, in the Super Bowl, their first ever Super Bowl. Like it's like Bo Nix, Daniel Jones. Why can't I think of the Drake May, right? Like you're just like this Eagles team would have been there before, and it just doesn't seem like you can't even feel good about it right now. At this point, you're almost like keep losing, don't make the playoffs, get a high draft pick. And unless you're going to be able to turn this thing around, otherwise you feel like okay, they might make the playoff. They'll probably make the playoffs, maybe even win the division. I mean, they should win the division. And but like, who do you feel confident and comfortable with? Do you feel like, oh yes, we can still go on a run, like blah 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 blah? Like you can't feel confident. You can't feel confident, and again, the O line, like we talked about a ton, and I brought up the O line, the O line, the O line, the O line. But my point is like that's what you're kind of dealing with right now, and it's not like I watched this game outside of maybe some of the run game. I don't look at this and just think like, oh, this was clearly the O line. Oh, Jalen Hurts had no time. He was under duress for blah 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 blah. You're just kind of like, this team doesn't know how to. The coaching doesn't feel like they know how to execute an offense right now and put these guys in positions. Even the plays that were made today, even the 230 yards and the 2 touchdowns, and the 10 catches, the 5 catches, the 2 catches, the 1 catch, the 132 yards, 40, like it still all felt like it was AJ being AJ, Devontae being Devontae, Jalen being Jalen. Like it still was just all about the bodies. And as Greg Cosell, as the clip that I showed you before, as Greg Cosell mentioned, it's like that's who the Eagles have always been, where it's just like we're just going to let our playmakers be playmakers. And it's just like it's a brutal way to play. It's a brutal way to play. Your coaching staff has to make things easier for your players. And I just do not think that is what this coaching staff is doing for this team right now. And the offensive side of the ball, Sirianni and Kevin Patullo, again, I think deserve a tremendous amount of blame right now. And Fangio, who I think has been great all season long, quote unquote, daring a team to run like the Chicago Bears, where that's exactly what Ben Johnson is a run first. That's what he wants to do with this team. He wants to run first. Again, as we can see with the 47 rush attempts, you're saying here, we want you to do what you do best, what you feel most comfortable. We want you to do the exact game plan that you want to do. And it's just like, how does that make sense? Like the infamous Bill Belichick would be like, we want to take away what you do best. We want you to play left-handed. We're not trying to like give your right arm a nice massage and be like, you okay? You good? No. Anything else we can do to make sure that you're feeling all comfortable and strong? Yeah, you okay? You want a nice little bit of heat? Want me to heat it up a little bit? Yeah. Okay, cool. We'll make sure that you're all smooth and ready to go. Don't worry, buddy. No, we got you. It's like, what is going on right now? What is this? So, I don't know. It is one of those things. Why? Yeah. Coaching, man. Coaching. There's times that I watch the Eagles play, and I'm just like, the bodies aren't there. The O-line isn't there, right? Like whatever. You're just like, it's just not there. You're like, yeah, coaching can be better, but like there's just like They can't run they keep handing the ball off, and there's just Saquon's just getting met in the backfield. Like, what do you want him to do? No one's open for Jalen. Like, what do you want him to do? And you're just like, here, I'm just very much like, this felt just a terrible display of coaching. Even looking at the scripted plays, and I'll end here. Looking at the scripted plays from Chicago and looking at the scripted plays for Philly, again, it's just a night and day difference of a rhythm and execution. And so, yeah, it feels to me, I just don't know, this hasn't necessarily been in the Eagles wheelhouse, but to take a really big swing from a coaching perspective. I just think when you have a true offensive coach who knows how to problem solve, who knows how to troubleshoot, who knows how to consistently get the best out of his quarterback. Like, again, why is Jalen Hurts having less designed runs this season? What's the explanation? It's not the O-line. What's the explanation? What's the explanation? Where's all of the RPOs? Like, where's like any sense of creativity at all? Like, where is it? Why isn't a game like this, does Tank just not touch the ball? Again, look no further than this game right here, where they have multiple running backs. They got multiple running backs getting after it. And like I showed you earlier, Gibbs and Montgomery, like, other teams do it all the time. The Chiefs with Pacheco and Hunt, like, why? Why are the other teams doing it and not the Eagles? Like, it doesn't actually make any sense. If it's good enough for Ben Johnson, if it's good enough for Andy Reid, if it's good enough for Kyle Shanahan, if it's good enough for, just keep naming the offensive coaches, Sean Payne, then it should be good enough for Kevin Patullo and the Philadelphia Eagles. It just should be. It's good enough for Matt LaFleur. It's good enough for every other team these days. I mean, look at all the rushers for the Green Bay Packers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Won't include Love there. 5. Watson, 6. Jahmyr Gibbs. David Montgomery. We'll kind of count Jared Goff. Obviously not really that much of a running quarterback. Jamison Williams. Didn't work out for them, but still. Kareem Hunt. Patrick Mahomes. Isaiah Pacheco. Xavier Worthy. Rashee Rice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Williams, Davis, Turpin, Dak Prescott. Okay. Cincinnati Bengals. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Baltimore Ravens. 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, this is now last week. The 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, Brian Robinson Jr. Okay. I mean, heck, I'm going through all these games right now. The Pittsburgh Steelers put up 28 points against the Chicago Bears team with Mason Rudolph. They also ran a ton too. Kenneth Gainwell, Jalen Warren. I mean, they were able to run more successfully than the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a serious problem. They have a better pass block, run block than the Philadelphia Eagles. But yeah, all the other teams are using multiple running backs, receivers. They're doing all this other stuff. So yeah, the NFL is definitely a have and have not league when it comes to coaching, and it is a stark drop when it comes to offensive coaching, especially. It's like you either got someone who knows how to come up with a game plan, game management, play calling, etc., or you don't. And you either have a coach who knows how to troubleshoot, deal with, overcome various concerns, issues throughout the course of the season, or you don't. And right now it does not seem like the Eagles have that. And it's just like, I feel like a lot of people after this game, Eagles fans are going to be calling to fire. Again, they were chanting "Fire Kevin Patullo," in the stands. And I don't know what you would even do there. But I think even in a game like this, not even having any other creative run game aspect it makes no sense to me. That's indefensible, and it's indefensible to just say, "Hey, we dare you to run." Like that that also is, against this Chicago Bears team is just indefensible. And the fact that this D line for the Bears, their defensive pass rush and run stop win rate and all of that type of stuff is not good at all. And that's what I get. You told the Steelers to be able to run and have a ton of success. And the fact that they were able to have success in a way that the Philadelphia Eagles were not, it just screams O-line and coaching issues. It just screams that. Because Saquon didn't forget how to play football. Jalen didn't forget how to play football. AJ didn't forget how to play football. Devontae didn't, like a lot of these same bodies, like they did not magically learn how to play football. And it's like, what are these changes right now? It's like coaching and O-line. But I still don't think that the O-line was bad enough this game where you were just like, oh, gosh, no one could do anything with this O-line. And it's just like, so then it's just like, coaching. So bad game all around. Those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Philadelphia Eagles falling 24-15? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.